JBNN will keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, security guard beaten in attempted robbery at Mandeville ATM. A security guard was beaten by gunmen during an attempted robbery at a National Commercial Bank NCB automated teller machine ATM at Bankhouse Mall in Mandeville on Tuesday morning. A police source confirmed that the incident happened about 2 a.m. The source said the guard, who was on duty, was physically assaulted and had to be taken to hospital for treatment after he was attacked by the gunmen. The gunmen reportedly vandalized the ATM but were unsuccessful in removing cash from it. This was the second time criminals in the past 3 weeks attempted to rob the location. According to crime officer for Manchester, Dennis Simpson, security guards at the mall were attacked by armed men recently. He said a struggle ensued, and the gun of one of the criminals was discharged in the process. No one was hurt. The Manchester police have increased their patrols close to ATMs and money couriers. We have heightened our presence where criminals might target, said Simpson. This follows Sunday's brazen attack in Portmore, St. Catherine on beryllium couriers. 3 beryllium security guards were shot while servicing an automated teller machine at Scotiabank in Britain Parkway. Cleon March, the acting assistant commissioner of police in charge of crime, said that the robbers in Sunday's daring heist absconded with $23.2 million. He also revealed that the cops are pursuing several excellent leads to apprehend the perpetrators and that a breakthrough is imminent. Body of missing bearer found in Gully. The body of a 26-year-old man who was reported missing last Saturday was found Tuesday morning in Motherwhite Gully off Spanish Town Road in the vicinity of the Horizon Adult Remand Center in Kingston. He has been identified as Skemore Forbes, a bearer from a Greenwich Farm address. According to police sources, Forbes received multiple gunshot wounds to the head. It is suspected that Forbes was killed on Spanish Town Road and later dumped in the Gully. The Kingston Western Police are investigating. Police called to Queens after incident involving students. School administrators were forced to summon the police to the St. Andrew Base All-Girls High School, Queens, on Tuesday morning after an incident involving students at the institution. According to reports, 3 students went on a roof and refused to come down. It is understood that at least one of the students threatened to jump. It is unknown what caused the students to go on the roof, but reports suggest that an internal conflict between 4th form students is behind the decision. Police have declined to comment on the developments, but a source has revealed that a team of officers were at the school speaking to the students and the principal. Further reports indicate there were a series of fights between students at the institution on Tuesday. Efforts to contact a member of the institution for comment were futile. Sikiana murder accused denied bail. Rushan Patterson, the man who is charged with the murder of popular social media personality Anika Slikiana Townsend, has been denied bail. The denial was made by Justice Andrea Thomas when a bail application was made on Tuesday in the St. James Circuit Court. Justice Thomas, in handing down her ruling, said, "In my view, the allegations of the Crown are serious enough and sufficient enough to form the view that if granted bail, the accused man will not return. At this time, bail is denied." The Crown had stated, among other reasons, that Patterson is a flight risk and that based on his history, if given bail, he may not show up for court. The Crown also told Justice Andrea Thomas that Patterson has another case in court in the parish of St. Andrew. That case has to do with an alleged abduction of a woman in 2018. The Crown told the court that Patterson was denied bail in that matter. Patterson is being represented by a new attorney, Diane Milo Barrett, who outlined reasons why he should be given bail. She said Patterson should be given bail on humanitarian grounds and based on the weakness of the Crown's case. Patterson was previously represented by Michelle Thomas. Milo Barrett said her client, who is not a flight risk, suffers from 2 medical conditions and was in need of medical attention. She also claimed that he was in danger while in custody. However, Justice Thomas, in denying bail, did not agree, claiming the Crown has strong evidence. She pointed to conflicting information that Patterson reportedly gave the police surrounding the whereabouts of Townsend prior to her body being found. Justice Thomas, before giving Patterson a September 21 court return date, said she was satisfied that the police will be able to take care of his medical condition while in custody. Townsend's scantily clad body was retrieved from the scene Reading, St. Thomas on October 21. On November 11, the police had stated that Townsend travelled from Kingston to Montego Bay, which was picked up by Patterson at approximately 7:30 p.m. on October 20. During the evening, They visited a restaurant in Hanover and a guest house in St. James. At some point during the night, an argument reportedly developed between them. Patrice is accused of strangling Townsend and disposing of her body. Patrice was named as a person of interest on October 22. He was picked up at a guest house in Hanover by a police Air 1 operational team on November 2 after missing at least 2 deadlines to turn himself in. Guardsman Group disagrees with adding high-powered weapons to its arsenal. Beryllium Limited has indicated that it has no interest in encouraging a running face-off between its teams and gunmen by adding high-powered weapons to its armory, as this could further endanger its security officers and the general public. Speaking in an interview on Monday, following Sunday's brazen midday attack by criminals on one of its teams delivering cash on an automated teller machine at Britton Park in Portmore, St. Catherine, Guardsman Group Director of Operations, Commander George Overton, argued that police operations and security operations are very different. One is paid for, and one is paid for by the state, with no accountability of expenditure. Therefore, I don't treat them as the same, and I don't look at it as the same, because they are different worlds. The thieves are said to have made off with more than $20 million just 3 weeks after a similar heist on the company in February, just a stone's throw away from the scene of Sunday's robbery. In the February robbery, the criminals killed one security officer, injured another, and reportedly took more than $10 million. The Beryllium team was delivering cash to a Jamaica National Bank ATM. On Monday, Overton, who is also head of the Jamaica Society for Industrial Security, said it would be a bad idea to fight fire with fire. Do we start an arms race between the security industry and the criminal elements? I believe that the state has a responsibility, and it needs to be understood what is state responsibility and what is private sector operations responsibility. Overton added, when we put M16s, one in the hands of the criminal and one in the hands of the security guards, we know what the collateral damage is going to be. A lot of innocent people and people are going to be injured by the gunfire, and therefore I'm aware of escalating to that level. I do believe that there's a need for weapons that are able to lay down a certain amount of covering fire by lots of ammunition being dispersed, but I can't agree with going to the caliber of a 5.56 to match the M16. I have a different position. I believe that at this point, escalating it is going to have a greater consequence to the nation than understanding was the responsibility to deal with that, he stressed. The gunmen, toting high-powered weapons, launched their attack on the team in the vicinity of Scotiabank while they're in the process of servicing an ATM. 4 security officers were shot and injured. Responding to questions about the level of training for security officers, Overton stressed, the guys yesterday handled themselves admirably. They conform to the training that they have received, and it is what probably saved their lives. You're using a force that is not trained or equipped to deal with the types of attacks that was laid down against them, and there's very little more that we could do under the circumstances yesterday. He also emphasized that the unit involved in the incident was an armored vehicle. After the attack in February, Commander for the St. Catherine South Police Division, Christopher Phillips, suggested that security companies review their operations, especially when making large financial deliveries, while noting that the Beryllium team was not traveling in an armored vehicle in that incident. Regarding future operations, Overton said he has had discussions with National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, while his superiors have held talks further up the policy chain. It is something that is in the process right now, and I'm sure something will be coming out of better and greater collaboration going forward, he said. Probation for Portmore laborers who spent $1.7 million mistakenly sent to account. The 2 Portmore residents who spent $1.7 million mistakenly sent to their account from a financial institution today pleaded guilty in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Laborers, 21-year-old Latino Ambersley and 24-year-old Dean Broderick, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit larceny and simple larceny, were each given a 1-year probation. They made restitution to representatives of Ready Cash Finance. Parish Judge Natalie Carey Dixon said that despite the repayment, their actions were motivated by greed and dishonesty, and they should have known better given their ages. Attorney at Law Commissioner Harrison, in her submission, told the court that her clients have learned from their mistakes and are remorseful. The court imposed a 1-year probation. The court heard that on October 5, 2022, the duo inadvertently received the money in their account from the company. Having received the money, they used the funds and failed to contact the loan company. The matter came to light after they were contacted by the company that they wrongfully received the $1.7 million. After the mistake was revealed, the police were contacted and both persons were taken into custody. They were subsequently charged with conspiracy to commit larceny and simple larceny. Over 100 illegal guns seized in St. James since the start of the year. The number of illegal guns seized by the St. James Police since the start of the year has climbed over the 100 mark. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Clifford Chambers, as of Monday, March 20, the tally of illegal weapons seized by the St. James Police stood at 103. This is fivefold more than any other police divisions, ACP Chambers said. On Sunday, the St. James Police took 3 individuals into custody in connection with the siege of a semi-automatic pistol and 3 rounds of ammunition during an operation in Maroon Town. Master mark referenced by Clark triggers opposition walkout of budget debate. In an unprecedented move, opposition members of Parliament on Tuesday walked out of the closing budget presentation of Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. The walkout came shortly after the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southwestern, the People's National Party's Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, rose on a point of order, after which Clark had repeatedly referred to opposition leader Mark Golding as Master Mark. Clark was taking issue with Golding at a recent party meeting in St. Andrew, referring to members of the governing Jamaica Labour Party as damn fools. This was after some government MPs suggested it was sabotage by opposition leaders that caused the budget presentation of Prime Minister Andrew Holness to be delayed by nearly 90 minutes last Thursday after a microphone malfunction. As Brown-Burke stood on her feet and repeated to House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert that she wanted to speak on a point of order, Clark continued his speech. Brown-Burke then responded to a government member with "shut your mouth," forcing leader of government business Edmund Bartlett to rise to his feet on a point of order. He declared that Brown-Burke's language was unparliamentary, and the speaker concurred. Brown-Burke insisted that she would not be beaten over the head by the speaker and refused to withdraw the statement, while declaring Clark's repeated reference to Golding as Master Mark as unparliamentary language. Member of Parliament for St. Anne's South East, Lisa Hanna, who also rose on a point of order, told the speaker that Brown-Burke was responding to a sauté vote to commend some government member who said that Golding is a descendant of a slave master. Dalrymple-Philibert claimed she did not hear the statement, so she could not rule on the matter. Bartlett did not say whether he heard the statement, while insisting that Brown-Burke's language was unparliamentary. The opposition walkout was led by Golding. Meanwhile, Clark continued his closing presentation.
By the way, Madam Speaker, as an aside, I saw a clip yesterday when the opposition leader referred to labor rights, Madam Speaker, or those who identify with a particular party known as the Jamaica Labour Party. And I can't say the words, but he said, "Beep fools. Beep fools." Call them beep fools. Madam Speaker, that never sound like Marky G to me. That sound like Master Mark. Master Mark, Madam Speaker. Anyways, Madam Speaker, we are immensely proud of the fact that this is the 6th consecutive year of no new taxes. With certainty, Madam Speaker, this has not happened in 50 years, that a government of Jamaica has gone 6 consecutive years with not one new revenue measure that introduces a new tax or raises a tax rate. No new taxes, Madam Speaker. And they pretend to not know what it means. Madam Speaker, when in the presentation of a new budget, the government of the day introduces no new revenue measure and no increase in tax rates, Madam Speaker, that is the definition of no new taxes. Madam Speaker, It seems to hurt them, Madam Speaker. It hurt them. And it hurt Master Mark too. It burned him.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker. No, on a point of order, Madam Speaker. On a point of order, Madam Speaker. On a point of order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I believe that the Minister of Finance, in terms of, shut your mouth and let me talk. I know you would find it. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. No, I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. Point of order, Madam Speaker. I have not made my point. I was in a point of order, and I wanted to have.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. A point of order, Madam Speaker.
I haven't said what I needed to say.
No, the member has used unparliamentary language
no, but
in the Honourable House.
What I was indicating that the member
should shut his mouth.
Who is the Minister of Finance referring to as Master Mark?
And so is
who is he referring to as Master Mark in the Parliament?
That's it.
Who is he referring to as Master Mark?
You need to name the member.
Parliamentary language either.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.